Hello, broadcasters. Welcome to episode 221 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. My name's Geige, and I'm here with Dan, of course. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing well. Excited for the Town Hall tonight. For anyone new here, Dan and I are the founders of StreamYard. We do these town halls every single Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific, and we do them for a few reasons. One is to stay in tune with all of you, go through the same flow that you all do with your own shows and productions. Two is to answer any of your questions. That's why we're calling it Ask StreamYard. So if there's anything you'd like us to touch on tonight, feel free to leave it in the chat. We'll do our best to get to as many as possible. There's been lots of exciting, hopefully exciting, that we're definitely excited about it, new features. So if there's anything there, or anywhere at all, we'd love to answer your questions. And then I always mention the three pillars of StreamYard, which are ease of use, stability, and professional stream. So if you're about those three things, StreamYard is the tool for you. I see people tuning in from all over the world tonight. I think I saw Prince Edward Island, Canada. Very, very cool. Kathy has a couple of questions. Well, let us know, Kathy. We'd love to answer them. Before I forget, we have lots of awesome shows on StreamYard. We got YouTube channel reviews with Dee and Daniel the second Saturday of every month. Really great show if you're looking to grow on YouTube. Both Dee and Daniel are pros when it comes to all things YouTube, and they'll go over individual channels and give advice on things like, how to think about your audience, your titles, your analytics. So definitely check that one out. And then we have Enhance Your Live Streams, the last Tuesday of them every month with Nick Nimmin. Again, Nick, a pro when it comes to all things video. So come there with your live stream questions. And then one thing we're doing at the start of these so that we get to know a little bit more about you, you get to know a little bit more about us, is a fun fact. And the fun fact we had for tonight was favorite day of the week. Do you have a favorite day of the week, Dan?
Such an exciting question. Favorite day of the week? Not really, to be honest. They're all pretty similar for me. Maybe I think I'd go with Saturday just because it's very unique. Get a little more time to just kind of think, recap, plan for the upcoming week. But yeah, they're all good for me. How about you?
Cool. I'm pretty much the same, especially now. But I think just because of how much I enjoyed, like most people, Friday when I was younger, it still has sort of that nostalgic feeling. So it's probably still Friday, even though it's not really all that different of a day anymore for me. Cool. See, we have a bunch of questions here, so we'll start getting to those. But I just wanted to, one of the topics I wanted to flash up while we start answering questions was we've launched a lot of these new features. So if you have any specific feedback on things like the new custom layouts feature, which if you missed the last couple of streams, custom layouts basically takes the same power that we have in our preset layouts and allows you to make your very own. So for example, like here's one that Dan and I set up for tonight. You can make sort of things look exactly how you want it and control exactly how the stream looks and feels. So if there's anything you'd like to see added to it or you have any feedback on it, definitely let us know. Same with guest destinations. We added that a few weeks ago now, which is the ability where if you have a guest, you can actually prompt them to also stream the content onto their own channel. So say you're doing a stream on Facebook, but you have a guest that has a YouTube channel that would benefit from the content. You can sort of collaborate with them and ask them to stream the content also out on their YouTube channel or any platform for that matter. And then also OnAir Analytics. So OnAir is StreamYard's both private live streaming and webinar solution. So basically, say you've built up this awesome audience on YouTube and Facebook. If, say, you want to have like an exclusive event or an exclusive webinar, you can use OnAir for that. And recently we launched some new analytics features, which allow you to see basically, has someone registered? Did they actually watch the event? Did they watch the recording? So again, if you have any feedback on any of those or any things you'd like to see added to them, definitely let us know.
Yeah, I'm especially curious, just especially for custom layouts. So obviously, there's so much there. There's already so much you can do. But yeah, if there's anything you'd love to see added, and you can feel free to be creative. Like, hey, it's great that I can move the videos, but I'd love to move the logo around or move the banners or something like that. That's all good to know.
Cool. Let's start getting to some of these. In my handmade crafts with Valentina says, do I need to sign up for the pro version to show overhead and laptop? So the pro version of StreamYard is the version that has the ability to have multiple USB cameras. So if you are wanting to show different angles through different USB cameras, you probably do want to have the pro version of StreamYard, as that's the pro and above are the only versions that have that functionality. But there are other ways to do it. Like say you have a video mixer, like I always forget the A10 Mini is a popular one. You can basically plug that in as your camera on StreamYard and use that to switch between different camera angles. So if you have that piece of hardware, that would work on any version of StreamYard. So
yeah, it also depends exactly what you want to do. Like I'm not even sure if she definitely means 2 cameras. It might just be screen sharing with your camera. You can definitely screen share with your camera. Yeah, it's multiple cameras that is on the Pro plan.
Gotcha. Yeah, so maybe I'm misunderstanding, Valentina. If it's like Dan said, if it's screen sharing, you absolutely can do that on all versions.
Yep.
And glad to hear that you're enjoying StreamYard. That's awesome. Daniel says, for my weekly podcast, Special Chronicles, how can I automatically upload audio recording of my live stream to Podbean directly from StreamYard? So we do not have an integration with Podbean or any of the podcast hosts yet, Daniel, but definitely something we're open to adding. We definitely want to make the flow as easy as possible for folks. But unfortunately, right now, the only real option is to download it and then upload it to Podbean or Anchor or wherever you're hosting it, unfortunately. Small Town Tourist says, question, with the rapid growth and popularity, will StreamYard be allowing their customers to stream directly to Rumble anytime soon? So you can actually stream to Rumble using the RTMP option. Rumble doesn't have a official live streaming API at this time, but when they do, we're certainly open to adding it. Payo says, question, for custom layouts, is it possible to add more than one media slot? Do you want to take that one, Dan?
Yeah. So as you probably did notice if you're playing around with it already, not right now. All of our layouts, including the existing layouts, only ever have one media slot. And that's partly because you can only screen share once, for example. But yeah, I would say we're open to changing that, but I don't think we have any plans to change that. So I'd be curious if anyone else needs that as well. And also just really curious what you want to do with that. Like, what are the 2 things, or maybe more than 2 things you'd want to share?
Cool. Joshua says, like custom layouts, when we have more than 3 people on screen, it's nice to arrange them to our liking. Awesome, Joshua.
Cool.
Kathy says, second question. I might have missed the first question. Kathy, if you want to.
I'll try to find it.
Do we need to have additional people on live in order to use custom layouts and also use the multi-guest on screen? No, absolutely not. So you can use custom layouts with whatever amount of people that you have. And one of the really cool things about custom layouts is you have a few really cool components to it. I would definitely recommend watching I think it's one of the most recent videos on our YouTube channel that walks through exactly how it works. But when you're in the edit mode for custom layouts, you can see exactly like, how will this look with 1 person or 2 person or 2 people or 3 people. So you can arrange it exactly how you want, and it will behave how you've set that up. And then we also have the dynamic grid component, which is really cool as well, which basically just sort of intelligently guesses, based on the number of people on screen, how should this look? And again, you can see how that will look based on adjusting the drop down in the editor. But the video goes through all of it and it does a better job explaining it than what I just said. So I would recommend that. Michael says, when will you allow 1080p on the lowest tier paid subscription? So I don't have any dates or anything, Michael. We definitely want to continue increasing the quality of StreamYard as like devices become more powerful and more streaming platforms support higher quality. So it's definitely something we might add in the future, but I don't know. I don't have a date or anything like that. Budgeting Just Because says, hi, I'm Chris. Hey, Chris, are you able to change the headline feature? I typed a new title, but it didn't change. So the headline feature is fully dynamic. You should be able to change it at any time, Chris. If you're having struggle, we do have 24/7 chat at streamyard.com/contact. But do you want to maybe just demonstrate, Dan? Like, for example, Dan will adjust his here, but you should be able to change it at any time. I'm not sure what you might be running into, but some live support can help you.
Yeah, I just updated mine. I just removed the word new from the middle of the headline. But yeah, it's basically when you enter the studio, you can edit it there, so you might already be aware. But then also in the studio, if you click on at the bottom, there's a video of you, and there's the 3 dots next to you. If you click that, you can edit name and headline, and yeah, you should be able to just type it in, and then you need to click whatever the button on that modal says. So maybe if you accidentally close that modal or something, yeah, there's a save button at the bottom there. You want to make sure to click that. But yeah, if that's not working for you, then feel free to reach out to support.
Awesome. Howard says, question: how does a guest add their destination after you schedule your live, and is it scheduled on their destination? You want to take that one, Dan?
Yeah, great question. So let's say you created a stream to YouTube that's scheduled for a week from now, and then you invite your guest, you send them the StreamYard link, and let's say they come into the studio, a day after you send them the link. So it's still 6 days until that start time. When they add their own destination, so say they also want to stream to YouTube, they'll click to add their YouTube channel, type in the title and description they want to use, and then they have the option to either schedule it or not schedule it. They can't change the time or anything. And by default, it will be scheduled. So unless they purposely do not want to schedule it, it will be scheduled. So basically, if you schedule something and they're streaming to a platform that also supports scheduling, like Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, it will automatically schedule it unless they really don't want to do that for some reason.
Awesome. Vic BC Live says, question: with guest destinations, will guests be able to stop streaming/sharing? Currently, only the host can stop the guest stream unless they go to the control panel to end. You want to take that one as well, Dan?
Okay, will guests be able to stop streaming/sharing? So if you're a guest and you add a destination, you don't have the button to end the broadcast, but if you click on your destination at the top, you can just remove it. So you can, and same if you've ever done this as a host, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. While you're live, you have all the destinations that appear along the top. If you click on any one of those, you can actually remove just that one destination. So yeah, guests can actually remove it. They just don't have a big red button to end the whole thing.
Great. Flyride says, media slot would be great if it didn't have a set size and we could crop in on it custom. Good. Thanks for the feedback, Fly. We'll definitely, I guess, any other thoughts on that one, Dan?
Yeah, if you could give us a bit more information, that would actually be quite useful. So you can, and you might already know this, but if not, it could be useful. So with the media slot and with the camera slots as well, you can switch between fit and fill so that it will kind of behave differently depending on what you're doing. So you may want to play around with that, and maybe that will achieve what you want. I'm not sure if you've already tried that, but that does allow you to kind of customize exactly how it should behave. And then, of course, you can drag it to whatever size you want. And like if you drag from the corner, you have to drag, I don't know, maintaining the same aspect ratio. But if you drag from the side or the top, you can modify the aspect ratio. So you should be able to get it to be super custom and kind of take up whatever space you want it to and behave however you want it to based on the fit or fill setting. So maybe let me know if that's helpful or if you have tried that and you have a follow-up question.
Cool. I do see a few other questions about things coming to custom layouts, but yeah, just to mention again, this is just the start for custom layouts. We do have some really, really cool stuff coming in the future that's going to add even more flexibility when it comes to sort of the customization of what you can do on screen. So stay tuned for that. Joshua says, would it be something in the future that we could add a title for the extra camera feature? At this time, there's no option to add a name/title.
Yeah, good question. I think we probably will have that at some point. Yeah, we purposely left it out just because we thought a lot of people would not want to have a title for it. But I think maybe it's something we'll add as an optional feature for people. No timeline. It's not something that's in our roadmap right now, but it's useful feedback.
Awesome. Stamping Creations with Marilyn says, I love using StreamYard and the giveaway tool. That's great. I give away 5 cards each week, so it would be really like to be able to remove a name when they win so they don't end up winning more than once. Definitely noted on that, Marilyn. Right now, the giveaway tool is pretty simple. We definitely want to do more with it and maybe start to even integrate it more into the core studio versus sort of the screen share flow that happens now. So really appreciate the feedback, and we do plan to iterate more on it in the future.
Yep.
Payo says, I live stream during football games, and more media slots would allow me to show more stats and updates for my audience. So that's super useful to know, Payo. Appreciate that. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, but Nyarka says, we used StreamYard for the last 3 years. We created a series using StreamYard called Hablando de Cine series every last Sunday of the month. Thank you. That's fantastic. Congrats on the show.
Cool.
Jacktown says, is this stream using StreamYard? Of course, every single town hall we've ever done uses StreamYard. It's kind of cool if you want to randomly look back, you can see like how different they have looked in the past, but it has always been StreamYard.
Yeah, I would feel a bit embarrassed if it wasn't.
Yeah, not a good look.
No.
Doggy Trader says, I'm expanding my brand into TV. Any thoughts / plans on adding Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire to your lineup? That's awesome that you're expanding into TV, Doggy Traders. It's definitely something we're open to. It's a newer space for us, so we need to spend more time looking into what exactly is required on our end to do a better job integrating with these things. I know that we do have several users that also do use Roku. Generally, their workflow is basically taking the content from StreamYard and integrating in it, but there's not a direct integration with those platforms, but definitely something that we're open to and need to learn more.
I'll also be curious if you're doing something, like if you want to do something live with these platforms, like is this like a live TV type thing, or is this you do a recording or even a live stream on StreamYard and then you take the recording and put it out to, one of these platforms?
Definitely let us know. Daniel says, I heard that Spotify now allows you to upload video. Can we import our video recordings to Spotify for our followers to watch our shows on Spotify? Yes, we're super excited about Spotify, Daniel, and some of the stuff that they're adding when it comes to video podcasts and podcasting in general. I don't believe they have an API yet for video recordings, but we are following it closely. And as soon as they do, we would love to integrate more closely with it and allow you to easily get all of your content onto Spotify. Definitely something we want to support. Payo says, will we ever be able to move the ticker and comments to wherever we want on custom layouts? But I'm loving StreamYard. So there's more customization is going to continue to come. Payo. So sort of like I mentioned before, custom layouts is just the start. There's going to be a lot of other cool things coming. We're still chatting about how exactly we want to handle stuff like tickers and comments, but it's definitely possible.
Yep.
Becoming Christian says, does StreamYard do vertical video on your phone or just horizontal on the laptop? So right now, the live output from StreamYard is only horizontal now. We are working on adding vertical as well, because I know that that's super important to folks, especially now with TikTok and a lot of these vertical viewing platforms. So that is something that we're working on. One cool thing with custom layouts is you can sort of do this yourself, where you can sort of stack people into a vertical layout. And if you are streaming somewhere that crops it, that does work out quite nice as a workaround. But again, we do want to fully support vertical streaming in general, but right now it is just horizontal. But if you, just in case you mean like attending on your phone or joining on your phone, you absolutely can like use StreamYard on the phone. It's just the output is 1280 by 720. El Gusto says, hello guys, please remember to add the option to monetize on-air webinars. So we do have a full team, El Gusto, working hard on adding all kinds of great functionality for on-air, and monetization is definitely top of mind. So stay tuned on that. Brad Range says, are there any plans to allow more than 2 USB cameras from a single browser instance of StreamYard? That's a good question, Brad. So 2 was just sort of a number we picked because we figured for folks that do want to have, like if you have 3, 4, 5 camera angles, that is a pretty advanced setup. And we figured a lot of people that had those types of setups, they would maybe often be using things like the A10 Mini or a video mixer of some kind. We're definitely open to it. It does become more and more intense on your computer as you're taking in more and more of those feeds, which is another reason why it can be nice to have one of those mixers, because that does actually have integrated hardware to sort of take some of that load off your computer. But I would say we're open to it. Any other thoughts on that one, Dan?
Only follow-up question, I guess, Brad, is I'd just be curious what you want to do with it. Like, are you hoping to show all 3 on the screen at the same time? And, what exactly are you streaming or recording? If you just give us a rough sense, I think that would be useful. Or are you hoping to swap them out? Like, I want to show this one and then switch to this other camera and switch to this other one. I'm not really going to be showing all 3 at the same time.
Awesome. Tons of questions here. Love all the questions. Another one from Chris. Sorry, another question. Is there a way to stop my live from posting to YouTube as soon as my live ends? I want to trim it before it posts to YouTube. Thanks. Unfortunately, unless you want to do a recording only, like if you want to just create a recording on StreamYard, edit it, and then post that as like a video to YouTube versus a live stream, there's not a way that I know of doing it. If you're using YouTube Live, that's sort of just how YouTube Live works. Is that live stream? You can edit it after the fact, as it sounds like you're aware, but you can't really stop YouTube from posting it, unless you wanted to do, I guess you technically could like, I probably wouldn't recommend it because it seems a little odd to do, but you could like make it unlisted right as you're ending the stream, and then edit it and then make it live. I guess that's a decent solution. You could even do that right from StreamYard. You could just like make it unlisted as the stream was ending.
Yep. Yeah. So you basically go live on StreamYard as a public stream, or maybe you want to do it unlisted from the start, but let's say it's public. You go live as soon as it ends. I would probably just go to YouTube and change it. You can also change it on StreamYard, but it's easier to just end it first, go to YouTube, change it to unlisted. Now new people can't find it, and then download the recording on StreamYard, or trim it on StreamYard, download that recording, upload it to YouTube. But then, you are going to have 2 separate videos, but you might already know that.
All right. Kathy says, what is the suggested time prior to an event that we should invite? From your experience, does that make sense? Yes, it makes sense, Kathy. I'll answer, I guess I can interpret it 2 ways. So I'll answer both ways. So if you mean like inviting your guests that are going to be part of the studio, I think that mostly just depends on, I think you want to give people probably at least a week in advance to know like where it's going to be and what the link is going to be and everything. I would definitely make sure you send reminders, because definitely if you don't send reminders, folks can sometimes forget. So I definitely recommend sending a reminder. If you mean, I'm guessing you mean from like the viewer's experience, like how far in advance should you schedule it? From what we've seen, again, it depends what your goal is, right? Like sometimes if you want to do something that's like very off the cuff and just like a surprise stream, like that's totally valid and it has its place. If you are doing something that's more of like a planned piece of content that you want to promote beforehand and give people time to find, a week is generally a pretty safe bet and seems to be the most common frame of time that people will schedule and find success. So I recommend a week if it is something that you have planned that you're going to promote before it starts.
We've got a request for furniture in my room.
Yes. Yep. I did a bit of a background makeover. We still have to do.
Putting me to shame over here.
We need to do one for Dan as well. Josh says, how did you two get the idea to start StreamYard? What do you consider to be the most important keys to your success? It's a cool question. It's been a while since we mentioned the sort of reasoning behind StreamYard, so we can mention it again. So the whole goal of StreamYard is we saw there were so many people with awesome content to share and doing so many interesting things, but this is a while ago now too. I guess it's been 4 or 5 years or so now since we started StreamYard. So there's people with all these great ideas, this great content to share, but we felt like technology often kind of got in the way. And especially like 4 or 5 years ago, StreamYard was or streaming in general seemed to be very much like a technical gaming focused activity where it's like you had to learn about like encoders and bit rates and all of these things that were not your content, right? So we really wanted to make something that sort of really got out of the way and allowed people to focus on the content and share their message in a really simple way. And that was the whole idea of StreamYard. And in terms of the success, I think a big part of it, like we've shared the same pillars at the start of every single StreamYard stream. So I think a big part of it is really staying focused on those pillars, making it a super easy to use tool, a super stable tool, a super professional tool. And we've always focused on that. And we'll continue to focus on that. And I think that's really what we set out to solve with those pillars. And I think the focus on that has served us well.
Plus, we regularly chat with users as you're discovering by watching this.
Yes, town halls are super helpful. It makes it super enjoyable and then also great for understanding what we can do better. Truth is Real says, I have a free account and so does my guest. Can my guest also stream from their destination? Do they have to be online or in the studio? So your guest does not have to be on a paid account, but if you're wanting to use the guest streaming feature, the host account will have to be on a paid account.
Yep.
But you could both stream separately if you want. But again, it wouldn't really be doing what you're asking. But of course,
if you want to stream from the same studio, that's where that guest destinations feature comes in, and that's where the host does need to be on a paid plan. If the two of you are just wanting to use StreamYard and be guests on each other's shows and just stream to whoever the host is of any given show, just stream to their destinations, you can do that now on the free plan.
Awesome. All right, we should maybe start. We're not going to be able to get to all the questions. I appreciate it. It's like awesome to see all these questions, but there's a ton of them here. You want us to queue up the giveaway tool to make sure we don't run out of time? Tim says, are there any screen backgrounds templates we can download to design our own custom backgrounds? So one thing we do send out monthly, Tim, is the marketing team makes sort of a library of like top picks of like overlays and backgrounds and video clips. So I would definitely join the StreamYard community group on Facebook. If you go to Facebook and just type in StreamYard community, it should be the first one that pops up. And then there's folks that inside that community group that even outside of the marketing team's templates that share all kinds of cool backgrounds. So I would check that out.
Cool. Do you want to describe the giveaway?
Yes. Looks like many of you are already familiar, but yeah, we always do a giveaway towards the end of these town halls. Tonight, we'll give away one of those pillows that I have in the background there, along with the StreamYard sweater. To be eligible, all you have to do is type in hashtag the yard. We'll give you 10 seconds or so to get in your hashtag the yards. And like I mentioned earlier in the stream, you can actually use this tool yourself if you're ever keen on doing a giveaway. If you go to StreamYard.com/giveaway, has a video walking you through how you can do it, exactly how we're doing it right now.
Cool.
All right. While we're waiting, I'll try to do a few more questions here. Howard says, any possibility for Amazon that Amazon Live can be added as a destination apart from RTMP? We'd love to add more direct integration with Amazon Live, Howard. We're just waiting for them to sort of develop a few more, some more functionality when it comes to their API, but it's definitely something we would like to support. Okay, let's do one more and then maybe do the draw. Fly Ride says, question, do you know if the local recordings from a multi-guest stream could be edited using the existing clip editor? Currently, I'm only allow the original stream to be edited. So with local recordings, Fly, this is absolutely something that we want to support and that we're working on supporting, the ability to basically take those individual recordings and edit them right from StreamYard. Right now, when you say the original stream, I assume what you mean is like the mix. You can edit the mix stream on StreamYard, but you can't actually edit the local recordings. So stay tuned on that. It is something that we do plan on adding. In the meantime, we do integrate with some of the most popular editors, so you can directly like export those local recordings into things like Premiere and iMovie. So hopefully that's a decent solution, because I know a lot of folks like editing in those tools, but we definitely want to have a simple solution right on StreamYard. It's just not available quite yet.
I'm actually even just confirming to make sure that is the case. I thought we'd added that a while ago, but I think it might have just been, we're exploring adding it. Yeah, we don't have it yet, but hopefully soon.
Cool.
Shall we do the giveaway?
Yes, I think it's stabilized. So let's go ahead and run it.
What are we giving away?
The StreamYard pillow and a StreamYard sweater.
All right. Good luck, everyone.
Michelle, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight, and congrats. If you could send an email to contact@streamyard.com, the team can make sure they get you the right size and ship it to your address. But congrats again.
Cool. Congrats, Michelle.
Let's see. Let's maybe do one more here, and then we'll close things out. Motherhood says, will there be an option to pause a recording if there's an internet glitch or a disruption during an interview? So yes, we do plan on adding more recording functionality in general, like the ability to sort of redo and pause, because we definitely know that's a really big request when it comes to recording. So we definitely do want to add that. One of the cool things about the local recording functionality is that if there, I guess if there's a total cut, it's not going to help you. But the cool thing about local recording is that if you do sort of have a poor internet connection, because it is recording locally, you should still be able to get a great quality recording, even if you do have some internet hiccups. And I know
just as one other note as well, depending how long it lasts for, like if it's just a temporary thing, you could kind of just pause for a bit and then keep going and then edit it later. And that's where we do have that trimmer built into StreamYard now, where you can just kind of cut out the segment that wasn't as good and the other parts will just get merged together. So that is an option as well.
Awesome. And with that, this was episode 221 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. Really appreciate all the questions tonight. Sorry we couldn't get to all of them, but we'll have plenty of time next week as well to answer all the questions. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you. We'll see you next Sunday at the same time, Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. See you next week.